Hey, hello there. This is Daddy's Girl Podcast. I'm the Daddy's Girl, Donnis Collins.
And I'm the dad, Everett Collins.
If this is your first time tuning in, I will be interviewing my dad about the music industry. His dad stories are different than a lot of dad's stories. Even on the last episode, I learned a lot that I didn't know before. So I've been telling him, hey, you need to write a book about all the things you've seen, all the people you've worked with. If you watch the trailer, you'll see just a little bit of what we're talking about. So,
Cool.
Yeah.
All righty. Well, I'm glad that you're joining us for another episode. And some of the things that we want to talk about is not only my journey, but how about your journey and some of the things that hurdles and troughs that I've had to go over or come from under in this music business.
Mm-hmm.
I tell everybody that this business, there's no crooks in this business, and I know that sounds strange, but meaning the only crook in this business really is your ignorance. And I don't say that in a demeaning, but what you don't know can hurt you in the long run. So, as my mother used to say, if I stepped in a mud puddle and got wet, why would I want you to step in the same mud puddle and get wet?
Mm-hmm.
So, she would lift me up. And so that's what I intend to do. I've been doing it for over 42 years in teaching. And I just think it comes natural. I get joy from helping people. And so hopefully the journey that I went through and are continuously going through will be helpful to your journey. And believe me, I know quite a bit of stuff. No, I'm not a lawyer.
Unfortunately.
Right. Once around the park, shame on you. And twice around the park, shame on me. That's my ignorance, because I got taken again.
Mm-hmm.
So, what are we going to be talking about this time?
Well, before we do, speaking of lawyers, do you know any entertainment lawyers?
Oh, I sure do.
We could bring on here?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, very good, well, almost my lifelong, because I'm still living. Toby Pieniak, he was the director of legal affairs for RCA Records, and his specialty was doing licensing for films. One of his biggest deals was Backdraft, if you remember that Fire movie. That was a really big thing. But he represented several other clients in the music business, and he recently retired. But he always answers the phone. So, shout outs to Toby Pieniak on Madison Avenue, Manhattan. Another one is a former student of mine from Amityville, and he was a drummer. Is a drummer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and his name is Joel Press. And Joel wanted to become an entertainment / sports agent, and so he majored in, political science and law, and so he recently was with the legal department for DC Comics.
Ooh.
So and his partner Danny Lugo, at the time, also from Amityville. Wow, that's great.
We're doing it.
Go
We are
Aville.
doing it.
But so he, they both had a sports agency where they represented sport figures, athletes and such. And Danny is now the president of a women's college. And I can't say what the name is just because I don't remember.
Right.
So that's what he's doing. And yeah, so always, you always have to have someone that you know, someone that you trust, and you know that are giving you sound advice. You know, our very early days, we didn't do that. You know, we were just starry-eyed because somebody offered us a contract.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I remember we won this recording contract, and my father, who's no kind of lawyer, he read it and he was like, "You gotta be kidding me."
He was no nonsense.
Yeah, that was no nonsense. Right?
He wasn't with it.
He said, "You gotta be kidding me." I said, "Dad, you didn't even finish the contract." He said, "I don't need to. I've had enough." And you know, then we're all turning into Sad Sam. Oh man. He's like, "No, I'm not a dream buster. I'm just a reality agent. I'm trying to tell you this stuff, if I can understand it, wow, something's not good."
Mm-hmm.
And to have you guys sign this, I don't want to have the parents of all of you guys coming at me. Why did you let him do that? So, you know, okay, all right, yeah, a couple,
Right.
you know, we was like, oh man. But then it happened again.
Oh,
Oh yeah. So, yeah, we were offered a contract, and we were given, we meaning Sunrise,
okay. Yeah.
we were given. I asked. I said, "Well, can't we take the contract home?" So, and they said, "Well, why?" I said, "So we could get somebody to help read it over with us." And I said, "Sure, you could take it home, and just make sure it's back by Monday." And this was Friday. Now, what attorney is going to work on Saturday and maybe Sunday?
Right.
So, but anyway, one of the members, Ronnie, he said, "Oh, my mother knows an attorney. He can help us." And so Ronnie's mother was, you know, a rhythm and blues artist back in the day. Faye Adams, her name was.
Mm-hmm.
And she did Shake a Hand, Shake a Hand. So her attorney was kind enough to meet with us on that Saturday. And he said, "You know what? How many of you guys have been to Pizza Hut?"
That's not a good. That's not a good start already.
Me? Everybody's head went up. He said, "Well, good, because you'll make more money working for Pizza Hut than if you sign this contract."
Oh my God.
Oh man, and we was like, "Here we go again." So we like, okay, so I can't recall the attorney's name. He said, "Listen, I'm not even gonna you know, charge you anything for this, but please. Don't sign this." Don't.
Some free advice. I'm begging you.
Right. So David said, "Well, can you at least tell us what's wrong with it?" And he said, "Well, that's what I'm going to have to charge you for." He said, "This is almost, you'll be signed by the pound. How much paper this is to go over after page after page after page." But he said, "Don't let anybody say to you that this contract is non-negotiable. That should send up flames immediately."
Red flag.
Red flag, fire flag. He said,
Non-negotiable.
"This is non-negotiable." And he said, "Boy, that's the biggest lie. Every contract is negotiable. It's called negotiations. Come on." You give a little, you take a little. You
Right.
give a little, you take a little. So he said all contracts are always in the best interest of those who hired that attorney to give you that contract.
Mm.
So it is your responsibility to have an attorney that will look at that contract and say, in the best interest of my client, we're not going for this. We're going to offer this. And it just goes back and forth. And they take it to their attorney. We don't bring it. They take it to the attorney. And
Right.
that's how it's all written. Written down, signed, sealed, and delivered. When every party is and member is happy with it, that's how it goes down.
Mm.
But not before that. And so the good news is, even though it was not the greatest contract, it gave us exposure we probably never would have had, and we just kind of bit the bullet and we signed.
Oh, you signed anyway.
We signed anyway.
You didn't take the free advice.
We took the we took the free advice, but we did not follow it.
Thanks.
Yeah, he's like, well, something's better than nothing, right, guys?
Ciao.
Come on.
Anyway, so
So, well,
oh no.
okay, so, all right, who's gonna sign first? Ev, you sign. Oh, okay. So I signed. I passed it on to Kevin. He signed, and then it just went around to Ronnie, to Tony, and then to Dave. Dave was the last one, and he's like, I don't know about this, guys. I really don't. I don't.
He had time to think.
He was the last one. He said, I don't know about this. But you're right. Something's better than nothing. Maybe something good will come from it. And so, here we go. Everett, Tony, Kevin, Ronnie, and David. Yay!
And how old were you guys then?
Okay.
Were y'all
I was
babies?
like, saying that. Let me see. 62. Yeah, think of it. 28. Yeah, like 28. Not so we
Yeah.
signed. And we were label mates with Joan Jett and the Black Hearts and Star Point and Night Ranger and Richard Dimples Fields, and he did If It Ain't One Thing, It's Another.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, so it was cool. We got a chance to meet them, always at the office and doing stuff at the record label.
Mm-hmm.
But it was bad. Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah. And so all these promises were made, and our Toby said, the promises are only as good as the paper you wrote it on. So whatever paper you signed, that's the promise. But it doesn't mean they have to do it. If they don't do it, that's when you say, okay, well, thank you, we're out.
Right.
Legally.
Right.
But long story short, the record label went bankrupt.
What was the record label? Did you say?
Yeah, good. They absolutely had to close their doors. Unfortunately, the president, CEO, and founder passed away.
Oh.
Yeah. And
And what was the
was
record
the
company called? Can you
Boardwalk.
say?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Boardwalk.
Yeah.
Okay.
A subsidiary of Casablanca.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we were shocked. We were like, okay, now what happens? the owner, the brains, the visionary,
Mm.
he's gone.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh, wow.
yeah, so we were like everybody, every single label artist. We were like, what? Oh
Mm.
my gosh! So as fate would have it, we were released from the contract.
Won't he do it?
Yes, he will. He said he would.
In a weird way.
But yeah, so those are the legal little tidbits,
Mhm.
and nothing much has really changed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's artists still
Oh yeah, they have
signing
these real slick.
crazy contracts. Yeah.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Something for nothing does not exist.
Mm.
Something for nothing does not exist. You have to give something, and in order to receive, and it's kind of a gamble in many cases. If you're a newcomer, everybody knows you're a newcomer. But if you've been in the game for a long time, they know they have to come correct. And it was like, come on, guys. Look, we don't even have to do this stuff here.
Mm-hmm.
How about I draft a contract and y'all sign it? That's the way, that's how you walk in with power hand. The power hand.
I know that's right.
So, yeah, that's cool. So, that's the legal thing. And like I said, the biggest crook is your ignorance.
Mm-hmm.
I suggest that there are tons of books, but back in the day there was only like 2 books: This Business of Music, and it was as thick as your Bible. And if you hated reading, gotcha.
You'll hate it more.
That's right. Oh my gosh. It was like, this is too much. What? Cross collateralization? What is that? Do you think they explain it? Yeah, they do, but it takes like 5 pages.
Right.
And oh my gosh. Could somebody just tell me, what is that? Break it down.
Right. Explain it to me like I'm 5,
Right.
like Michael Scott would say
Okay.
on Office.
Right. And so we only had, like I said, 2 books, and that was one of them. And everything else, if you didn't get into that book, you couldn't even come up with good questions to ask at the table.
Mm.
And then, of course, the more you think you know, the more you find out you need some help to go past. You really don't know that. And then you'll be called a know-it-all.
Mm.
Well, no, I don't profess to know it all, but I do profess to know something about what I've read. It wouldn't have been in print, so it was good enough for me to raise questions and get the right answers. And while we're talking, there is another friend of mine who is on the legal department at Georgia State. And his name is Craig Cunningham. And he's an attorney as well. And he used to work at Nexus as a guitarist.
Oh, okay. I was like, that name sounds familiar.
Yeah, Craig.
But I never got to meet him. So
Yeah, great guy. And a fantastic guitarist. He played for the group War. Cisco Kid was a friend of mine.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so great, cool guy.
Mm-hmm.
So, if I don't know the answer, I can certainly find out through friends.
Right. I know somebody who does.
Right.
Just give me a
It's so
second.
important. Get your power team together. You have to have a team, because when you try to go it alone, you're walking on rice paper. Yeah. So, take that nugget.
Right. Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're in the big leagues now. So
That's it.
this is like the hardest industry to get into.
It
so
sure is.
yeah, 1 in a million chance, all of that.
That's right.
So yeah.
We'll like Donnis had mentioned, so many friends and so many former students of mine are doing quite well in the business, and most of them have agreed to come on and share some things and just talk to you and talk to us and, as we reminisce.
Right.
And yeah, it's always kind of nice to have them say, "Oh, absolutely, you can call me anytime."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Let us know in comments
Excuse me.
on our pages, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Yeah, let us know what you would like to know.
That's right. Yep. Your 5 best questions.
Right.
5 best questions.
And I guess I'll start.
There you go.
And here's the first question, or I guess first statement.
Mm-hmm.
You have been a voting member of the Grammys for 30 years.
That's right. 32 to be exact. Yes.
And the Grammys just came on.
Yeah.
It's that's like kind of like the Super Bowl for us. Like we watch it every year.
Every year. That's right.
You get an invitation in the mail, and we're all like, "Are you going to go this year, and who are you going to take?"
Who goes?
Right. And then you see the price.
Well, and then you see the price of the tickets. Right, they're not cheap.
Right.
Yeah. One year, the tickets were like $1,500 each.
Mm.
And this is going back 15 years ago. So, and I believe it was in New York. Yeah, Manhattan, before it moved out to the West Coast.
Right.
And yeah, so yeah, 32 years.
32 years.
And I can just about remember when I was inducted as a voting member. Yeah.
So how did that come about? Step by step, I guess?
Step by step. Yeah, I'll try to make it as short as possible. It started with my attorney.
Mm-hmm.
And another acquaintance of mine, his name is Hy Weiss.
I've heard that name before.
Yes. We used to have a little joke because whenever my wife would answer the phone, she would say, "Hi." And he's like, "How'd you know it was me?" And she'd say, "Oh, I know your voice anywhere." It's like, "All right, well, where's your handsome husband? Can I talk with him?" But anyway, he helped me by way of Toby Pianiak. And he said, I have a friend of mine who, lives in the Syosset area. And I think you should what I'll do is I'll call him and just have him, you meet somewhere and see if it's okay to give his number. And he eventually called me back and said, yeah. Hy said that he would love to have him sit and talk with you. I told him your background and some things that you need to tidy up with regard to your credentials and your resume.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time, I didn't have a publishing company, and that was one of the things that we had to get established. And then the other thing was they were asking me, or Toby said, you should be a member of NARIS, which is the National Academy of Recording Arts and Science. NARIS. Mm-hmm. And they really need membership, and particularly Black membership.
I bet.
Yeah. And he said, I highly recommend that you go ahead and do it. If you're confused, you just let me know and we'll walk through it. But it was just documentation and verification that you have done this for this artist. You wrote this song. You have a publishing company. You own the copyrights to this, and you've done this and that. And then they go through the verification. Mm-hmm. And you're waiting, and you had to hear at the time, you've had to had produced or co-produced at least 2 songs. You had to write at least 3 songs. You must have been released and recorded on at least 5 projects. So you just have to prove to the board that you're verified in today's. But this all had to be verified on paper.
Right.
They had to call ASCAP, BMI, CSAC, and verify. And it took forever.
I bet.
Yeah, the good part of 6 to 8 months. So long, I had totally forgotten. But yeah, they had to verify it. Now, they'll verify it by the end of the day. They just go online. Everything is there. Oh, yeah, right, I see. I pull up the liner notes. Oh, yeah, I saw that you co-produced and wrote a few songs for the Jacksons. Oh, okay, no problem. And then you're verified.
Yeah, that leads me to my next question. What were the projects you submitted that got you in?
Okay.
That'd be interesting.
That's right. You know how we were talking before, sometimes it's not the best of deals, but it winds up for good. And because of that, that first deal that we had,
the Pizza Hut deal.
The Pizza Hut, yeah, Pizza Hut deal, man. That wound up being the first song that I sang lead, and wrote.
Oh, okay.
So, and it was on a major label. So that just like, check, 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 check. Deep Faith Music. Oh, that's your publishing company? Yes. Oh, okay. What? What are you saying? Deep Face? No, not Deep Face. It's Deep Faith. Okay. So, okay. So all of that was the very first thing. Then, of course,
it was a what Sunrise song?
Sunrise. Yeah. Who's sticking it?
Yeah.
Who's sticking it? Big funk tune. Right. I could tell you the lyrics, but we had to clean it up a little bit. Yeah, right. So so that was the very first thing. The second project was we were beginning to come out with Surface in the very early stages, and I had gotten a writer's deal with EMI Publishing. And so all of these things, I was co-writing, working with Gwen Guthrie and, C&C Music Factory, David Cole. And so they could tell this guy's about to pop off and do something. Maybe we should talk to this guy seriously.
Nice.
And so those credits were easily verified by business. And so they sent me a congratulatory letter acknowledging my membership, and that was 32 years ago. And from there, things just started to blossom. And I was not just a musician,
Right.
I kind of navigated some kind of way past that,
Right.
So I'm thankful for that. And that journey is what I'm sharing and intend to share with others.
Right.
Well, how does this work? Like you said, she's hearing this for the first time.
Yeah.
But yeah, so even now I'm going to give a plug to all artists and those that are in the midst of being artists and writers, just let's say creators. You need to submit your resume to the Grammys, Grammy.com, and look for membership. And even if you are a student and your major is going to be anything with the entertainment, whether you be a graphic artist, whether you be a vocalist or a musician or an arranger or a photographer, anything that has to do consistently with this entertainment, videographer, and a plethora of offerings. You need to take time and visit the website. It's a wonderful, wonderful organization to be a part of, and so many educational opportunities you would not believe that really open your eyes. And you'll be surrounded by good-hearted people, those that care. It's not a popularity. A lot of people say, well, how come Beyonce didn't win Record of the Year? It's not I'm sure you heard that, right?
Oh, it's all a buzz.
It's all a...
It's all on Twitter.
Right, a queen bee buzz.
Yeah.
But you have to understand, it's not a popularity contest. It's not based on how many records are sold, whether they're platinum, gold. It is, what is the quality of this song? Now, yeah, your ears may have been tainted because you heard it, but now you're going to have to put your name on the line and back this artist, because you believe what they're doing is a really, really great thing. The message in the song, the music in the song, you may not really care for it. With regard, it's not your favorite genre, but this is slamming. I'll never forget the first time I heard Edgar Winter's White Trash. And that, I was like, first of all, that name, that just kind of is like, what? Let me get this right. Let me tell you.
Why have I never heard of that? Wait, I need to hear this.
Okay, pause, put a pin in that for a moment. Yes, then we have to get back to...
Look it up.
Right. No, there's two brothers, Edgar and Johnny. Edgar Winters, I'm serious, they're real brothers. Mm-hmm. Edgar Winters and Johnny Winters, they were, when you see them, you was like, oh my gosh, they didn't look... I guess, if you saw Kiss, they made themselves not look real. Mm. But Johnny and Edgar were albinos.
Oh, wow.
Yes. And so their hair was snow white. Mm-hmm. And they had the eyes and the look of albino. And they had this long hair down their back. And those two boys, man, were they some kind of musicians. And I was hearing this song playing on the radio, and I was like, who is this?
It was on the radio?
It was on the radio. Oh my gosh. Blasted. And I was like, and I heard a saxophone playing. This guy, Edgar, was like a musical instrumentalist. Mm-hmm. I saw him the night that I first saw him. He played 4 instruments, and one of them was saxophone. Keyboards, oh my gosh, guitar, bass. I was blown away. Mm-hmm. And that was in 1973.
Oh wow!
Unbelievable. Yeah. And they were playing on the campus of CW Post. And I was like, my hat would have jumped off, man. I just was like, I can't believe these guys. Mm-hmm. And they were so influential to me and everybody of that era. It was like, man, it's like, oh, don't play that cute R&B stuff.
Right.
You gotta be slamming. Hit them hard.
Right.
And hence, here comes the funk generation. Mm-hmm. Ain't nothing cute about that.
Right. Sly and the Family Stone.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. Rufus, Earth, Wind and Fire, Ohio Players. What? Zap.
Shout out to them.
You name it. Right. Gap Band. Yeah. So, yeah, those were that we had to put a pin in that. Some of the we're talking about influential groups, or so. Help me reel me back to that question that we left.
Let me see. Ooh, wait. I'm still stuck on white trash.
You follow the white trash, right?
I gotta...
Look them up. I'm telling you.
Right, I'm still thinking about it. But yeah, who influenced you, like voting wise? Like, do you remember like your first year voting? Like,
Yes,
you know,
I
like
do.
how did you go about it? Because you mentioned not to vote for people you actually like,
right,
I guess,
or no,
or no, like
right.
you're supposed to do your research.
Do your research, right?
Right.
And back then, they would each member would join like a record pool.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it used to be records, then it turned into cassettes and then CDs. Excuse my nose, it's running faster than my feet. I guess I'm built upside down. The nose runs and the feet smell. But yeah, so every year, and usually around, September, October, you would get these, semifinalists, and they would mail them to you. And not you had to sign for it, but it was mailed to you. And you would physically have to listen. They would send you listening material. If you didn't know about the artist and you didn't have access to Sam Goody's music store or E.J. Corvette, wherever you got your music, you'd be giving or doing a disservice to the artist that you never heard before. So the NARIS would send you CDs so that you could listen, and oh my goodness, the family loved that.
Yes. You're like, oh, the CDs are here.
Yeah, and it was a nice little freebie.
Yeah.
But yeah, then so, and then the book would come, and actually, I be honest, I had to talk to Donnis and Lexus, right? Everett was still young at the time, but some of the people I didn't know. So then they would just start singing, "Dad, you know this song," and I was like, "Oh yeah. As a matter of fact, here's the CD."
Right.
So I would listen to it, and then before you know it, like I'm hearing it more and more. It's growing on me, and I was like, okay. I think they give you at the time a month or two to start listening to these other than what you have been hearing across the airwaves. And then you will choose 10 categories out of over 50 categories that you feel that you are confident that you understand that music inside out.
Right.
So for me to say that I'm going to be voting in, let's say, what's a perfect example that I have no reason to be?
Metal.
Right. Right. Let's say heavy metal.
Heavy metal, yeah.
I recognize it. I know the genre, but I cannot pass any kind of test in terms of who is really jamming.
Mm-hmm.
But now that I think of it, white trash was right there. They just didn't call it heavy metal.
Right.
Boy, that track was heavy. Boy. But yeah, so I would not be, voting in that, or I wouldn't, Irish Celtic music, I have no business in that area, or, Beethoven, classical era. Now, I have no business in there.
What are your 10?
I'm glad you asked. Jazz, R&B, gospel. Let's see, children's music, because I had a few children, and y'all know VeggieTales, they won. And let's see, of course, everybody votes for best new artist, best song of the year, and others. Let's see, best world music, best jazz soloist, and oh my goodness, without seeing my cheat sheet, best rap artist, and it'll probably come to me, but I think I'm around the 10 right there. And that's who you vote in, your specialty. I know this music because I listen to it, I write it, or I arrange it. I know the phenomenal musicians, great writers. Oh my gosh. So pop, that was one that I forgot about.
Yeah, pop.
Pop.
Definitely. Yeah, and there are like new categories maybe almost every year, like urban contemporary.
Yes, urban contemporary.
There was, I forgot the category. I was like, wait, that's a category? I forgot what it was.
Yeah. And every year, someone else, the Academy Board bring on new music as they see, like Afrobeats.
Afrobeats, yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Man, it was grouped in a world music. Now it's breaking out.
They have their own category.
So that's how it works. And shout out to the president of the Academy and CEO, Harvey Mason Jr. And I knew his father, Harvey Mason, or met him many years when he was playing with oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank. Yeah, Harvey Mason. The first album that I bought was called Funk in a Mason Jar. And it had a picture of a mason jar with honey in it. And funkiest drummer. Every album that I listened to, I would read the label and the credits in the album case. What is that? And
you can't do that anymore.
Right, you really can't. And man, every time I said, I know that's Harvey playing drums. I just know his groove.
Oh, wow.
I mean, I can't even begin because I know I'd be messing up. But he was like the A list of drummers. Yeah, highly regarded musician. And so him and Nathan East, and I'm trying to remember the keyboard player. He's from, they used to record at Minot Sound. It'll come to me. But anyway, Nathan East, the bass player, playing on some tunes that I had written. And Harvey. But his son is a phenomenal producer, writer, and recording artist of his own, and has really taken the bull by the horns and just widened the vision of the new Grammys and Music Cares organization and such. And it was so badly in need of diversity. And so when the Academy voted him as president. And I said, man, he's going to do great things.
Good job.
And he sure has.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Go Harvey.
Go Harvey.
Yeah.
Call us.
Yep, that's right. Call us. We can get an interview, a call in. So, yeah, but get on it. You can join as like I said, a college student. You won't be able to vote until you have your resume behind you, but it's a start. And you can take advantage of all the educational opportunities that the Grammy in the schools, Grammy, who your teacher is, the best teacher every year.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, they don't go for retired teachers, but
Right. I would get mad. I'm like, why were you never nominated?
They didn't have that. See, they didn't have that category when I was teaching.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, within the last 10 years, they came up with that, but
right.
Long overdue.
Yeah.
And they just made it happen. You remember the movie Mr. Holland's Opus?
Yeah.
So my kids started calling me Mr. Collins Opus. Mr. Collins Opus. Right. And then they say, hey, Mr. Hightower. You know who that is, right? Mr. Hightower. Steve Harvey.
Mr. Family Feud.
I'm the real Mr. Hightower. The real band director.
And I have a Grammy story actually of my own. Hopefully I can say this out loud.
Sure. I'll cover you.
Yeah, so I would see, like, I'm in middle school, high school, and I'm seeing these Grammy invitations come in the mail. It's like the best time of year. It's like Christmas.
Right.
And I would just be like, oh, I wonder if he's gonna go this year. And you're like, no, I'm not going this year. I'm like, ah. And he would always get this big, like, Sears catalog of just songs in different categories, like hundreds of songs.
Right. Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God, you have to vote for all these people? And you're like, no, like, just, some of these pages. And I know, like, every year you started, like, asking us, who is this? And, best new artist. Who are these people?
Right. Right.
So I used to, like, read that Sears catalog, back to forth, because I knew how special and just, it's kind of like holding an Oscar to me, I thought, as a teenager. So I was like, you know what, I want to share this with my friends. So I took the book to school. I was like, let me see if I can get popular today and see what happens. And first period was chorus.
Of course.
Of course. And I was like, oh, hey guys. My dad just happens to, vote for the Grammys every year. Like, well, who do you think should win a Grammy this year? Speaking of the Grammys, like, what? Girl, what?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so I was pretty popular when I brought that book to school. And that's how I first learned about Shakira. Before she crossed over, she was nominated in, like, the Spanish language categories. And I was like, who is Shakira? And this was back when her hair was, like, red. And she was doing, like, rock stuff. Right. A couple of my friends were like, oh, no, he needs to vote for Shakira if he's going to do this category. I'm like, okay, let me circle it. We're all just writing in the book like a burned book.
Wait a minute. What is all this?
I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll erase it. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. They wrote all up in this thing. Like, no, you gotta vote for Biggie. You gotta vote for Biggie. What do you mean?
Right. Oh my God.
So yeah, that's how that was my little
your little Grammy.
My little popularity
Did
plug.
It work?
I think it did work. Once a year. And then they'd forget about me, and then I have to find another way.
Oh my
guys,
goodness.
guess what I did this weekend? I helped my dad vote for the Grammys.
Right,
No
right.
big deal. What did you do?
Right. What did you do? Oh my goodness, that's funny. That is too funny. But I can't say enough about that. It has opened my eyes to more music. It has definitely changed for the better with regard to seeing diversity of music and artists and creators. And that's what we do. We are creators. We are the music makers that make the world go round. So, yeah, that's my plug.
Mm-hmm.
And you should be a part of it too. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Do they accept actors?
No, they don't. But they do have short form videos, long form videos, and
Audiobooks now.
Audio, true.
Yeah, because
That's a category.
Viola Davis has an EGOT now because she did an audiobook.
Audiobook.
Yeah.
See, there you go.
Yeah.
Another new category.
So
audiobooks. And,
yeah.
Yep. So,
Yeah, and musical soundtrack. I remember those.
yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Soundtracks to
Spoken word, comedy album.
That's
yeah.
right. Oh yeah.
Yes, a whole bunch of stuff.
Yep.
And
Yep.
getting all those free CDs, that was great.
Oh my goodness. And just to be at the at the Grammys and to be able to, sit, a table right next to, Bruce Springsteen or well, one year was sitting next to Maurice White. And, it's like, okay, well, we're all here. And the good thing was, people don't go around and ask for autographs.
Really?
Because most people that are there, they're in the business. And
Right.
You're going to see them sooner or later.
Right.
But, I don't mind saying that I have them, I have a Grammy magazine that was in everybody's gift bag when you come in. So I said, we were sitting next to, and your mother said, boy, that sure looks like Edwin Hawkins.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, where? And she said, oh, I think he's coming over here. And he's walking, and the closer he got, I was like, that is him. And he came up and he said, oh, are these seats taken? This is the after party. And I said,
okay.
no. And so your mother said, Edwin? And he says, yeah. Yeah. How did you know that?
Do I know you?
Yeah. We listen to your music all the time. And he said, oh, another fan.
Yay.
Yeah, that's great.
What year was that?
Ooh, let's see. It was in New York.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to rewind, and I'm going to say 80. 85, 84.
Ooh.
Celia Cruz was there.
Oh, wow.
Tito Puente, his whole band.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yep. They were live entertainment.
So you weren't voting yet. You went.
No. I voted.
Oh, you were voting that year?
Because that's the only way you can go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. If you're outside of the academy, the place wouldn't be big enough to hold everybody that just wanted to come.
Right.
So,
right. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm guessing it's kind of like the Globes, Golden Globes. Everybody just can't buy a ticket and come in.
Right.
So, which is in great contrast to Billboard,
right,
which is sales generated. Who has the most sales and such like that?
Right.
Yeah. So, yeah.
We might have to do a part 2 because I still have a lot of other questions.
Oh, do you?
We've been here for a little bit.
Yeah, we've been here for a little bit. But, yeah, it's a good bit, though.
Yeah.
It's a good bit.
So if you have any Grammy questions or Grammy stories of your own, like, comment, subscribe, and we'll talk more about music's biggest night.
Yes, yes. And before we go, we just want to say prayers go out to Dave Jalakar from De La Soul. And our prayers and thoughts are with you. He passed away just 2 weeks ago. And very good friends. He was a wonderful student, another student of mine from Amityville, along with Vincent Mason and Kelvin Mercer, who lived right down the street, used to come by and help babysit Donnis and Alexis.
Yeah.
Yep, and they're always going through our record crates. I don't know why. Man, Mr. C got the best records.
Right.
What are you doing with them? Oh, well, we're gonna sample them and stuff. What?
How?
What are you gonna do? Well, we sample them and we just kind of use a little piece of music here and we just put it all together. Okay, all right. And that's how I learned hip hop from those guys. It was Prince Paul, Kelvin, Vincent, Gangsta B.
Yeah.
Right, Eric. Then they had, Stetsasonic, Vincent, and of course David, and oh man, the list just go on. My principal's son, Steve White, was very good friends with Chuck D and Flavor Flav and Eddie Murphy. Everybody going to school same time. And I was teaching, and I was privileged to be able to teach those guys.
Nice.
And they would always come to our room during lunch, just sit and talk about music and how you do this, how you do that. I just try to do my best to impart wisdom, not just about music, but who are you as a person?
Right.
And they were good for me, and I was good for them. Yeah. So
yes, rest in peace.
Rest in peace
to him,
Dave.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere. Yeah.
Yeah. They came and just freestyled, came busted into, they were invited by Monica, her Sweet 16 party. And they were all there. Just having a great time, everybody dancing.
Yeah.
No film fashion, just...
Right.
Yep, we were just there, hanging out.
Just house party.
House party at the firehouse, North Amityville Fire Company, NAFCO. That's another episode too.
Right.
Drummers with attitude.
Right.
You was in there.
I was. That's another episode.
Yes.
But yes, so thanks for tuning in, and we will see you next time.
Absolutely. Here's a little plug. It's probably backwards, Pearl drums. I don't have a Tama drums, is what I played with the Isley Brothers for many years. They don't make these, so I took Pearl under my wings. Where are you, Tama?
Right. Talk to us.
Okay. Tama, strongest name in drums.
Oh, there it is. I was like, wait, what are you looking at?
In the live room right there. All right, y'all. We want to sign off.
Peace, love, and soul.
Peace, love, and soul. God bless you all. All right. Love you.